Yeah. Now, why don't you start it out tonight?
No, I don't like starting. It makes it harder for me to interrupt myself.
Well, welcome back to another episode of Now That's a Show. This week,
Welcome back.
welcome back. Yeah, because they saw the last.
Oh, they just watched it.
Yeah, they're binge watching.
Back. Yeah.
They're binge watching.
Better thing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
Binge watch the.
Binge watch.
Now that's a show.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
This one we came across some stories. Go ahead.
Can I interrupt for 1
Sure.
minute? Yeah. I just noticed something. I was watching TV before I got over here. And have you seen the Burger King commercials? They've got that freaky Burger King guy. He's weird, right? But I just started thinking about this, right? There's no acting in it, really. Mm-hmm. There's somebody in this costume with a head on, and all you see is the head, the costume, and the legs, right?
That leotard outfit.
Yeah. What was the casting for that? How did whoever got it win it? Because they don't do anything. Like who was like who were the 5 or 6 people that didn't make that job?
My question is more than anything else: who goes to Burger King? When was the last time you've been to a Burger King?
Do you think there was a chance that the guy doing the Burger King was like passed over for Ronald McDonald? He's like, when they're like, all right, well, let's rotate him back into the equation there.
Have you ever seen the original Ronald McDonald? Like,
way back?
You know who it was?
Who?
What was the guy's name?
Will Ferrell?
Oh no, the guy that did weather on Today's Show.
What?
Yeah.
Al Roker?
No, before him, the old bald man. What was his name?
It was him?
Yeah, like back in the '60s.
Back in the day?
It's spooky, scary looking, scary. But still, who goes to Burger King? When was the last time you went to a Burger King?
I don't think I've gone to Burger King since sophomore year high school.
It's a while back.
Yeah. Because the kid I was hanging out with, he liked Burger King, and there was one near his house, so we would go to Burger King.
They just never.
Late at night.
They never
got over there.
No.
And obviously, they don't have the original chicken sandwich. Oh, yes, they do. That's right. They have a sign about it.
The sign said that. Yeah. It's a good question. I don't know how they cast that.
Anyway.
Well,
one more thing.
Sure.
So I heard an advertisement the other day for this company that makes like emergency food that is like vacuum packed that you can eat for like 25 years.
Oh, the people, what do they call them?
I don't even know what it is.
End of world people.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So they've got this ad going out, but the thing that I thought was pretty funny about it was that they are touting second day delivery, guaranteed second day delivery. So if you're in a situation where you really need that food, mm-hmm. we still have Amazon or whoever is delivering things that quick. The world is in Armageddon, mm-hmm. but it's like, don't worry, we will get you your 25-year food delivered to your doorstep within 2 days.
I always thought too, and I learned this just last week or a week or so ago, when we did a canned food drive, whatever, through the neighborhood.
What was it? Fagottetti? What kind of pasta was it?
Oh,
Fagottini.
Fagottini. Yeah.
How long does that last?
I don't know, but here's one thing that I found interesting. Was I thought canned foods would last pretty much forever. Mm-hmm. And so as I went through my pantry, I went through and got canned foods out.
Wait, is that funny? There's something funny about that, right?
If I left the R out, it would be. But I saw that there were expired
panty. Oh, panty.
Expired cans.
Going through your panties?
I didn't think they expired. Like tomato soup, how does that expire? It's in a can. It's got loaded with salt.
Right.
So I had to dump more than I gave away. So I had to go buy something to give it away.
I would think that if I ever got into that situation, I had all that canned food, I know I would forget the can opener. And I would just have all this food around that I couldn't even actually open.
How did Popeye opened his can of
Oh,
spinach.
he just crushed it.
Yeah, but it was before he had the spinach.
The hell?
So
I mean, he did have those massive forearms.
Well, then why do you need the spinach?
And then it was over like it would go down through him to his feet and then come back up and he would be like
and then they were fighting over olive oil, and she was got to be the ugliest, skinniest. I've never. As a kid, I watched it. I was just like, why are they going after her?
Brutus. He was always like,
yeah.
He always made those like those like guttural sounds like
talking under his breath.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway,
you can continue now.
Yeah,
that's my last interruption.
So we saw some interesting news stories this week. The past couple of weeks, so we thought maybe there's some ones that we would share with people, and these weren't things that didn't seem like they made the mainstream media, and we somehow
it wasn't COVID related?
Yeah, it wasn't COVID related, and election related, and inauguration, and insurrection, and all this other stuff.
Did you hear about? Oh wait, is Schumer in this?
No.
Schumer said that Trump incited an erection.
I did see that. He said that on the floor of the Senate. He incited an erection, and he took like 3 times to get it right.
And Nancy Pelosi's looking around like, what the hell is that? What are you talking about? What the hell is that?
Pelosi. Schumer. For fuck's sake. Well, there are a few stories out, and you're probably wondering why Bigfoot's here, right? There's a story related to that we saw in the news. So there's just a hodgepodge of odd news story.
Is there only one Bigfoot? You think there's more than one?
So he can't travel as far as they say he does. Like they see him in Canada and Alaska, but over in North Carolina as well.
Right.
And in Oklahoma.
Right. Oklahoma finally was like, you know what? We're capturing this.
But I guess you would have to say big feet. And that just doesn't sound as good.
What if he has one small foot?
Sasquatch is.
What if he's also like has one regular foot and one big foot?
That's why he limps.
Yeah. He's like, ugh.
I don't know. We should have got that picture of me walking by that big bonfire you had. Looked like Bigfoot. Well, anywho. So here's some hodgepodge of odd news stories, and I just threw these up here, and we can discuss them. And you should look them up. But speaking of Bigfoot, in Oklahoma, a state representative has filed or is pushing a bill to have a official Bigfoot hunting season. Did you read the details of that thing?
Probably not to the degree that you did. Like anything past what you have on the screen here? No.
So you pay a license fee for it per year, but if you find and kill Bigfoot, $25,000.
You gotta kill him?
Yeah.
Why do you gotta kill him? I've got some questions.
So at the same time,
I have a lot of questions for Bigfoot.
At the same time, there are people that this representative is getting hate mail because the ones that are Bigfoot deniers, right? They think it's a silly waste of time to spend taxpayers' time and money on doing a Bigfoot hunting season.
What money are they spending on it?
Well, it's just taking up time in the house, the state house, and everything else. It's just nonsense if you're a non-believer.
Okay.
But if you're a believer, they think it's unfair to kill Bigfoot. Bigfoot didn't do anything. I don't know if I believe that there's like the creature like that picture. I think there's like some mutated bears or even people.
They're just in the woods?
Yeah.
Well, where do they go?
Well, like you don't see many armadillos, do you, when you go in the woods?
No, I don't go in the woods that much, but.
Well, that might be why you don't see any
any
big feet. So.
But Bigfoot is always depicted like it's a person.
Yeah, half man, half beast.
It's like, yeah, so.
We remember the $6 Million Man. They had an episode where Steve Austin ran into Bigfoot. That's when they ran out of episodes.
Yeah. They're like, we better cancel this series right now. Is he still alive? Is he dead?
Who, Bigfoot?
No, Steve Austin.
Oh, Lee Majors? Yeah. Still.
I mean, if he's in Oklahoma, they might want to put something out, let people hunt him too.
Put something out. Put what out?
How did Steve Austin just go away like that?
Well, he's in his 80s now. You think about it, was it $6 million man was early mid-70s? Yeah. He's got to be.
He's still like rear his ugly head every once in a while, like.
Well,
he was some sort of like Comic-Con or something. He would like show up. You think he like wakes up in the middle of the night, just like
to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
5 times.
Yeah. No, they replaced his
prostate.
Yeah. That was the last thing.
Made out of boron.
No, ShamWow.
Mops it right up.
Just gets up in the morning and just kind of like squeezes it together.
ShamWow. I haven't seen a ShamWow. Are they still doing ShamWow?
That's actually not a bad idea. They should just replace the prostate with like some
mesh, not mesh,
not mesh, but like
terry
some
cloth.
Yeah, like some super absorbent thing. So you just get up in the morning and just like squeeze it together. You're good. 8 hours of sleep. Wake up in the morning and you look at your watch. You're like, oh, look at that, 0 steps. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, how do I?
You don't remember whether or not?
How do I have 135 steps already? It's 5 a.m. It's like, oh, that's right.
Because you got to take a leak.
It does add. I mean, there are times at like the end of the night, I'm like, God, I'm only at like 9,800. It'd be nice to just be like, oh,
if I had gotten up to pee a couple times.
I know.
I mean, how many steps away is your bathroom from your bed, though?
Well, you stagger, so it's like.
You think, all right, so like think from the bed to the toilet, you're going to get to the toilet, maybe 12 steps.
No, these things pick up like 5 steps. I think what happens is when you get up in the middle of the night, your arm moves twice as much because you're half asleep.
So it's numb.
Yeah.
I remember when those Fitbits first came out. You could get steps by moving your arm.
Yeah.
And there was a guy on the plane sitting in front of me, and he was doing this, moving his arms. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" And then I figured out that he had a Fitbit on him. Like he's probably flying home, and his wife said, "Did you get your steps in?"
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we're just watching The Simpsons here. What's the guy in the wheelchair?
Family Guy.
Family Guy. What's the guy in the wheelchair?
Uh,
Does he get like revolutions? He get like 10,000 revolutions.
How come I just drew a blank on his name, though? I've seen this show a million times. The cop with no legs. Yeah. Nice. Let's see what we got in the next one here. Angry squirrels attack. This is in Queens.
Yes.
Did you see the video?
Yes. I'm serious. I've always said this, that like we are lucky as humans that all of these things that are around us
don't just turn.
They don't attack us like birds. Like we don't get attacked by birds. There was when we were at our old office, every once in a while in the spring there was this one like sparrow or something like that. We had these trees out there and we would take Max for a walk and they would dive bomb us. And I was always like, what the hell's going on here? But we're lucky that doesn't happen more. There's all kinds of, you ever like, you're walking down the street and you're just like, you hear like a little crinkling of the leaves in the bushes. There could be something in there that could attack us and we would lose. We would lose. Whatever that little thing is in there.
How do they have squirrels attacking people? Like people are terrified. They're freaking terrified.
The woman described it as a cage.
As a cage
fight. And and I lost. Okay. I mean, if all of a sudden you're walking down the street and a squirrel, I mean, there's it's kind of like that Seinfeld episode with the pigeons with George. Mm-hmm. He's like, we have a deal. They get out of the way. There's a lot of little animals out there that could attack us at all times.
We had
But they
one
don't.
on the college
Why don't
campus.
they?
The college campus in front of the library, there are a couple ponds, and walk around like little walkways. And there's this one goose that was a mean son of a bitch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and would go after people. Certain people, though.
Yeah.
There are certain people who just like, fine. And so people thought about like going out there and poisoning the goose. So there's a big thing in the school paper. You can't poison the goose. It's his land. Like, just relocate the damn thing. You know, it's like,
Can we just give him a casino? Make him happy? The Goose Casino.
if you have not seen this, then the videos of these squirrels attacking is pretty impressive.
So funny.
It's pretty impressive. And the one's like hanging all over the woman's window.
Yeah.
Like clawing. She can't go outside.
I would not go outside. I'd be. Could you imagine if you were constantly on alert? Like, we're not on alert. There are times that when we see certain people walking towards us, we cross the street. But you're talking about a squirrel.
No, I'll cross the street after I like fart and don't want people to think it was me.
Who don't you want it to know it's you?
Well, I don't want them to go like, somebody cutting grass here?
Oh, God. That's the best thing. You spray a fart out there and you just know.
Welcome home, Donald. So Trump gets home yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Whatever day it was. He gets home to his estate in West Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago. And there's the flying plane banners going across. You're a loser. Worst president ever. Now, I find it funny.
I would laugh.
I find it funny. I would find it funny if I were him too, because somebody paid money for that, to do that.
I think they should find out who, because how is that any different from inciting a riot?
That
could incite a riot.
When I read that, I thought the first thing I thought of was, okay, so they banned Trump from Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? But it's okay for these people to do to do that on the plane. Look, as far as I'm concerned, it's okay for everybody to do anything and say anything like that. Now, it is the right of, and this is the one I love, that all these people that are defending Twitter for shutting down or the president and everything else, it's a private company. Yeah. I totally agree.
Right. Totally agree.
But at the same time, these jackoffs are telling a private business they can't operate.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, if they're a private business, then they can. Why don't you let them stay open? Why don't you let the gym stay open 24 hours? Why don't you let the bar and restaurant stay open 24 hours? It's private business. Yeah. I mean, it's so
hypocritical.
It's so hypocritical, and and of course the media is all on the Biden wagon, and they're all COVIDites, but yeah, it's funny. He comes home and he's got planes flying over the flags track.
He should have a plane and have something circle the Capitol that says attack. Be like, I don't know. I didn't think it was that big a deal. People are attacking me.
Oh, fucking Florida. All right, here we go. So, in China, apparently, ice cream has COVID. Now, explain this to me. Isn't ice cream sold and stored in under freezing temperatures?
Mm-hmm.
How does a virus live in under freezing temperatures?
I mean, ask China. They seem to be the masters at distributing viruses.
The ice cream has COVID. It's like at the beginning of this whole thing when they were saying they closed the beaches because there were people that said the ocean spray could
grab onto the virus.
Could carry the virus. Yeah. I mean, my point then was, good. If the ocean spray carries COVID, then we're all doomed.
Yeah.
How is it too that
beach and let's just herd this thing and just get it over with?
What, to send everybody to the beach?
Yeah.
Or give them just buckets of ice cream?
Anything. Let's just get everybody either the virus or the vaccine or nothing. Just move on.
Are you ready for the vaccine?
I'm not taking it.
Oh, I'm not.
Killed Hank Aaron.
You know that Hank Aaron had the virus, had the vaccine 2 weeks before?
Yeah, and Larry King.
Did Larry King have the vaccine?
I don't know, but
I just look at let's talk about the vaccine for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Who was it? Which state was it? I want to say New Jersey. Might be wrong on the state, but it's probably New Jersey. You know, they prioritize people by age and everything else. They moved obesity and smokers to the front of the line.
And Italians?
Oh, I don't know.
That was the third one?
Obese people and smokers got moved to the front of the line. True story.
Well, think about this, right? If the vaccine killed Hank Aaron, right? And let's just say that the vaccine is not safe. We just took out our entire healthcare system. All of our frontline heroes.
Yeah.
Gone.
Heroes.
They're all gone. They're dead.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, you know, I think certain people are going to be susceptible to the side effects of a vaccine, just like any other vaccine, right? But I still don't understand how, if they're saying right now, if they're saying that this virus is mutated and there's different strains now, how is it that a vaccine that's been under development for the last 9 months address the new ones?
This whole thing has just been it's appeasement. Everything is appeasement. It's all about appeasement. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This whole thing has been nothing but a takeover. I know these people. I know there's a lot of people that have died from it.
Sure.
The numbers are not right.
Well, but
They could be either more or less. I don't know.
You saw what I shared, right? In the state of North Carolina, and I may have shared this on a previous show, but in the state of North Carolina,
I haven't seen any of them, so it's okay. You can tell me.
This is from like the local TV, WRAL television.
COVID-19.
The deaths for the flu this season are at an all-time low. In the state of North Carolina, 79 people died from flu deaths. So I'm like, congratulations, great job, right?
Flu.
Great job. But then the article said, in the same article, the same section of the article said, in one paragraph it says, it's the flu deaths are down because people are wearing their masks and social distancing. And then later in the article it says, coronavirus cases are up, though, because people aren't wearing their masks and social distancing. Which one is it?
I mean, ever since inauguration, the numbers have gone down.
It's amazing.
Every single day, numbers have gone down.
It's amazing.
Why do people not question this? What are the? I mean, we go too far, maybe. Right. We're completely on the other side of this. But why doesn't the average person even question it?
Because they're merely average.
I know, but
let's get it. We're better than average.
Even the average people should be questioning it.
I
People should be questioning stuff and saying, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
I agree, and I'm not one that thinks that they're pushing the vaccine because they're putting some microchip in you. I don't think that at all. But I think that they're at a rush to solve a problem that they don't know what the problem is, right? They're solutioning before they really understand what the core problem is. But that's a whole other thing.
Did anybody care or know how people were dying before this? People were dying all over the place. Nobody gave a crap about it. Nobody said, oh, don't go to McDonald's, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that. Nobody gave a crap about how anybody was dying before this.
I look forward to seeing the CDC's numbers for 2020 of deaths due to stroke,
anything,
heart attack, cancer,
everything is going
diabetes.
To be down.
Well, it has to. I mean, you can't double count that. You can't. Well, I mean, they do. They double count like cases, but deaths? Can they double count that and say, well, they had COVID and they had a stroke? And you can't count them. One column as they died of a stroke, and one column they died of COVID. I mean,
it's I don't know. People just need to start questioning things.
I was talking to a work friend of mine. A guy's done some work with me and for me over the years, and he told me the other day he is on his 3rd tank of gas since mid-March of last year. He said, I just filled up
gas into my lawnmower, and I don't even have a lawn.
He said, I just filled up my car for the 3rd time since March of last year. He hasn't left the house for anything. You think about that. So you're talking 10 months hold up, right? Now, my question there, main question is, what happened to your immune system during that time? I mean, is the common cold going to knock him on his ass?
Yeah.
I mean, I think about that, and the people that kind of are quarantining full time, and hey, that's their right. Do whatever you want. But they're ruining their immune systems.
I've done everything I can do to find this stupid virus, and I can't seem to do it.
Well, it seems that
I was in Lowe's this weekend.
Oh, what kind of blood do you have?
I didn't have my mask on at Lowe's, and some guy comes up to, because I had it like down on my face because I was like, this is ridiculous, right? Guys, and this guy walked up to me, and I was like, I started. He's like, don't even bother. He goes, this is the dumbest thing anybody's ever made us do. We went into this furniture store. Everybody in there, not a single mask in the store.
There's some places you go, it's just doesn't exist. I mean,
because it's a joke.
Come
on. I know.
Look at Florida, right? Florida's pretty open, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you still have people that tell people to wear masks and everything. And then take the opposite look at California. They're quarantining all the time out there. California got everything shut down, but it doesn't change, doesn't affect the numbers.
Now, we're in California, are they wearing a mask while they're packing?
So they can move. Yeah, they were moving in droves. Which,
there's a good thing.
Well, I have pluses and minuses about that. Like here, the real estate values are just skyrocketing because of that.
Yeah,
but they're going to bring their politics.
They're going to bring their politics, which is not good.
Yeah. Well, and what happened to HIPAA? What happened to HIPAA laws? How is it that I know that Nick Saban has COVID?
Right.
I mean, okay, so maybe Nick says, yeah, I got COVID, and tells everybody that. But if you do contact tracing, if the government's handling contact tracing, and I get COVID, and I end up on their little registry, and they contact other people, tell them that.
Right.
Yes. Where's the HIPAA law?
Right. Yeah.
Where's
Chris has syphilis. Damn, I was just with him on Saturday.
Syphilis, is that even around anymore?
I don't know. It's just
Is there a vaccine for syphilis?
It's just fun to say.
Gonorrhea?
That's fun to say, too.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. Well, we'll stick with the same theme here. And so Fauci...
Is that like wearing 2 condoms?
Well, so I was thinking, I'm sure I've said this before, but I was thinking when all this started and people were wearing masks, my thought was, the positives of it are ugly people will get mates too because they're covering their face.
Yeah, especially over in the UK.
Yeah, it's covering their teeth
and all that.
So so instead of people saying, we used to say she's a double bagger, now she's a double masker. So probably not appropriate to say, but that's really what's going on. And now you have this. I'm not even sure what his position is. He's
who, Fauci?
Yeah, he's not the head.
He's Lord of the.
He is the highest paid federal government employee.
Oh, Jesus! Is that why he's always smiling? He's always got that dumb smile on his face.
Highest paid government employee.
I know I said yesterday this, but now I say this.
Well, remember he said originally he was saying that masks aren't going to do
anything. If you go back to what he said originally about how people were wearing the wrong mask, they're touching it. I literally, I don't even think I don't even have it right now, but I have the
same mask.
rolled up. Just Donna yesterday pulled a pill. You know how like they say like your shirt pills or something like that off she's like, do you really want this on the front of your mask? I'm like, yes, leave them on there.
It's like a cotton piece.
Yes, like it doesn't matter. I'm doing it
mask booger.
I'm doing it because I have to some degree, but it's like I don't know. People are just so angry with you when you walk up to the store and you don't have it on, and you get the like, go get in your Volkswagen and go home. I don't need you right now.
I mean, it was during the election. You could be driving down the road. If you saw somebody driving in the car by themselves with a mask on, you knew they had a Biden sticker on there.
You know what though? You know what I notice a lot though is the young people that are just out by themselves, walking their dog, whatever, wearing a mask. All these 20-year-olds and whatever that are they're walking around wearing a mask and there's nobody near them. That's a problem. Mm-hmm. That's a huge problem. That is like education system, indoctrination, insurrection. These kids are just like
no critical thinking skills. Well, they're like let's dissect that for a second.
They got these it's a fashion for them. It's like wearing pants, for God's sake.
Let's dissect it for a second and think, what would be a reason that people kind of roll over and just do it without thinking, right? No critical thinking skills, no questioning that from a logic standpoint, okay? They don't question they may question just because they're teenage punks and everything, just want to question authority in some cases. But this one, they're rolling right over. And I think it's because that generation has never had to organize anything by themselves. Their parents have organized everything. Oh, yeah. Think play
it's
groups.
Like if you pull the mask down, they've got an orange peel in their mouth.
Play groups, right? Yeah, the play groups. You had the play dates, And then like no kids anymore, rarely, do they go out and play? Do they go out and play sandlot baseball? Do they go out and play in the street? Do they go out and ride bikes in the woods or anything like that? But everything has to be organized. And I see it coaching high school baseball, is these kids have had everything organized for them for so long, and you're trying to get them to think and act for themselves. It's crazy. Speaking of which, we're allowed to do, in baseball, we're allowed to do workouts twice a week, preseason workouts. And they can go no more than an hour and a half. Or at a baseball field, outside now. They can't be in the dugout. They can't go in the clubhouse. Everything has to be outside the fence. And then when they're in the fence, they have to practice social distancing, 6 feet or more, and they have to wear their mask. When they're doing cardio, they have to wear a mask.
Who's making those rules?
That's the state. That's the state rules. Yeah, Tony's not making the rules.
And so, all right, let me just ask you.
So when they're running,
is there somebody? Is like Carlos up in the trees watching this? Is there someone up there watching? So, like, let's just say that you just said, you know what? For fuck's sake, take your shit off and go do that. What would happen? You guys would get like
suspended. Mm-hmm.
So who's watching?
Well, if somebody from the school comes down or some administrator. So what I did was, when they're running, we have them run. We're doing a cardio check on the guys just to see. They've been sitting. A lot of them been sitting doing nothing, and we wanted to figure out where they were from a fitness standpoint. And so we had them run 2 laps around the field, right? And they're running with their mask, and I tell the head coach, I'm like, dude, let them take their mask off. Because think about it. There's no way that can be healthy.
Yeah. Breathe carbon dioxide while you're running. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So I yelled at him. I said, pull your mask down. And
you said mask, right?
Yeah, man. And so I'm like, just run. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, again, nobody's questioning that. Like a couple other coaches are like, well, that's what they're telling us. I'm like, you're gonna fucking listen to that? You're outside. They're down here. If they come down here, I'll take the blame. You can blame me for it. You can say, yeah, Coach Wright did it. I'll be like, yeah, I told them not to because I was worried about their health. For fuck's sake.
That's true.
That's a fuck thing. So. Well, and we know though that, and we didn't even really want to plan on talking about
who's driving those decisions though. Really?
Oh, there's some panel of busybodies.
Is that like a North Carolina thing?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we talk to about this? Who do we call up and say, listen, this is Jake and Chris from the.
Now that's a show.
Now that's a show. You've probably seen it. No, you haven't. Okay,
check out our pilot episode.
You have to go to YouTube. Go to episode 1. Yeah, don't go to the pilot. Yeah, no, you won't take us seriously if you do that. Seriously, like, start asking some questions of this.
I would love to be in the room. I would love to be sitting in.
How do we do this?
I visualize them, the people of the state board of education or whatever, that they're sitting around a table and I'm sitting over there.
For God's
I'm sitting over there on the side of the room, side of the conference room in a chair, just listening to going on. And somebody says, "Okay, we have to have all of our players wear a mask. They can only meet twice a week for 90 minutes at a time," and blah blah blah. And I would just go. I'd be over there going, raise my hand.
I don't get it.
Can you explain why that is? Well, we think it's safer that way. Yeah. But tell me how it's safer for them to wear a mask while they're...
Tell that fat ass that's up there to put a fucking mask on and run around the fucking field twice. Say you do it. Go ahead, you jackass. You couldn't run to first base. Run around the field twice and put a mask on. And until you can do that, zip it.
Think about this.
Zip it.
The catcher has to wear a mask under their mask. You think about that. How fucking stupid that is. Now, and my philosophy is this. If it's really that rampant and that dangerous, like to have to wear a mask while you're playing baseball, while you're catching, then they should probably say, you know what, let's just not play baseball. I would hate it, but I mean, if it's that serious, then we shouldn't play baseball.
Seriously, who do we talk to? I think we need to talk to somebody. We need to film it, and we need to put it on here. All right, I'm going to tell you this. Last week, I Googled how to pay more taxes.
You can do it.
I know. It's not easy, though. It's not easy to do. So I Googled this, right? I came up across two things that I thought were hilarious. Number one, Massachusetts.
Oh, this was
my home state. No, I'm embarrassed by it. This is something that was initiated by Elizabeth Warren. You have the ability to pay state income tax of 5.1% or 5.85%. And all you have to do if you want to pay the 5.85% is check this box. Boom.
How many people checked the box?
1,200. 1,200 of them, right? You know who didn't check the box?
Elizabeth
Warren. And you know who else didn't check it? John Kerry. And you know what the reason was? Well, it's
insignificant.
Yeah, insignificant. It doesn't make anything. So
0.7%.
Yeah.
0.7% of what Elizabeth Warren makes. So $200,000.
Right.
Whatever. Maybe even more than that. But
yeah. So it's at $1,400. Right?
$1,400. $1,400 could pay housing for two people.
It's somebody, right? Yeah. So then I went down, I dug down a little bit deeper, and there was this great video. There was this woman, this girl reporter, and she's out there, and she's got this little iPad, and she goes out, and there's all these like congressmen and everything like that are going in to vote for a measure to increase the federal income tax. Right? And she's like, "Oh, you agree to this?" And they're like, "Yep, we need to do this because everybody's going to pay their fair share." And she's like,
"Fair share."
She goes, "Okay, well, what I've got here is I have the website right here, right now. All you have to do is fill out your information and your credit card, and you can make a payment to the Treasury right here, right now." And they were like, "Well, I'm not going to do that." She's like, "Well, why not?" They're like, "Well, that's not what it's about. It's not about just one person paying, it's about everybody paying." And she did it to like 6 or 7 different things. It was hilarious how they backed themselves off. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Wait, you mean like me pay individually?" "Well, no, I don't want to do that." She's like, "Well, why not? You're going to vote for it." It's a complete joke.
Well, and keep in mind too, remember that 10 12 years ago, when they did the Obamacare, they were mandating certain health care plans for the people.
Yeah.
But they have their own.
Yeah, they have their own. Yeah, no
kidding. They don't do Social Security.
Yeah.
So
seriously, I really think that it would be valuable for our show and for our viewers if we can find out who's making this call and actually do something where we could record them or at least ask the question.
Do a remote. That could be our first remote.
Yes. And actually have the question asked as to tell us exactly why. And would you agree to come out to the field at Wakefield and run the field twice with a mask on and tell us what your opinion is of that? And if you don't die in the meantime, do you feel safer as a result? Because if not, shut the hell up. We got to dig into this and find this out. That's what the show for 2021 needs to be. We need to be investigative reporters for our side.
Yeah, they'll love that because you know how they love people that fight.
Let's do it.
I know.
I'm sick of this crap.
Well, as we slide off of COVID maybe here for a second, trick or treat at TSA. If you saw this story about the TSA agent that was arrested for
the hell is that? Well, although we have a cricket, we have an attack cricket
that was actually resigned. He was asked to resign before they could fire him for tricking a woman to show her breast through the.
Aren't all breast showings a trick?
So
don't we have to trick them all into that?
So he is. Well, my question is, how does this woman think that this is okay? All right. So she goes through the X-ray thing or whatever I don't even know whatever it's called now, depending on what airport.
I haven't flown in a year, so I forget what it's even like.
So the guy says, well, you're something in your bra is setting it off. We have to check out the bra. So he makes her pull her shirt out and he looks down at it and says, okay. Then he makes her pull her pants out and he looks down there. And then says, well, we're going to have to go do a private.
Is she good looking?
I don't know. I don't know. They didn't show a picture of her, but so takes her to a private screening and makes her take her whole top off and everything else. And at this point, though, and peek down her pants, I'm like, what?
Does she have like I voted pasties on? Like what's her name? Chelsea Handler or whatever.
Chelsea Handler.
Did you see that?
No, I don't want to see that. I've seen her naked. I don't want to see that again.
She did like a whole like Twitter thing after the inauguration or something like that. She did a whole interview, topless.
Nice.
With just like pasties on that said I voted, blah blah whatever. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. But I was thinking now, this woman, how does she not know something shady's going on?
I know.
At this point, first it's a guy that's doing the private screening. I mean,
when was this? Recently?
This was LAX. He just got convicted of it. So it happened during last year, during 2020. But I looked at him up. He was a douchebag looking dude. Think about the TSA. I mean, not all of them, but most TSA people are kind of,
Yeah. Where do they fall in line of like, you have like
Capitol Police.
You got like mall cop, TSA. Like, where do they fit in that realm?
Well, I think the mall cop can carry, right?
Are they above the mall cop?
Well, I think as far as like their
authority
and
respect
and skills required and background, I think a mall cop has to have a cleaner record.
Really?
Yeah, because they carry. Well, a mall cop could carry a weapon, right?
TSA can carry like a sandwich and a coffee.
I remember when they first started TSA, back in 2002, 2003, somewhere around there.
Or postal carrier. I mean, you got to throw. I mean, they're all like uniform wearing federal people
on the dole. But this guy that I worked with, he worked maintenance at the office building I worked at. And when the economy went kind of south in 2001, he lost his job. And next time I saw him, he was a TSA agent. And this guy, maintenance, he was fine, but he was
same uniform, just different belt.
He was odd. He had some issues going on when he was working as maintenance. Apparently, he was harassing some women and stuff like that. But he got the job as a TSA agent. So he's
like,
protecting.
where else can I wear these pants, this shirt, and see boobs?
Did you ever see the? Did you ever see the Family Guy episode where Meg was a TSA agent, and you know how odd she looks anyway.
Yeah.
She was the hot one there. she was hot. Everybody had a crush on her. It's just show. Right. But if you're a TSA agent watching this, I know there are exceptions. Well, this week too, we had the inauguration last Wednesday, what have you, and something that's gone pretty viral is old Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders goes to the inauguration, and he's got his mittens on and everything else, and he's masked up, and he's social distancing and doing what he's supposed to. But he looks like the one that I saw that basically you say.
So many funny ones.
You basically say, this could have been an email.
So we could.
But and then there are thousands of them out there. I mean, thousands. And I just took a select few here that I find to be pretty funny. Where people find that, I mean, this thing went like that, right? Like,
God, it's so fast.
Firecracker.
Wait, do you have a collection of these?
I have a few, yeah.
All right, good.
So you have this. Well, I forget what that movie was called, you know, where they were blind.
Oh, the bird eye, or bird call, or something.
Bird. So he's sitting in the boat while she's rolling blindfolded.
That's right.
And then we have him with what's his name, Deadpool. I mean, in the mittens. I mean, you know what? They're like macrame or whatever, right? So they got holes. So it's really not protecting him,
right?
It's like when people wear the macrame mask, like, I hand knitted this for myself, but it's got holes all looking at it, right? That's one. Here's another. Gangnam Style, remember the little Korean fucker from a few years? Whatever happened to him? If I remember correctly, like he had a big hit. It was like 2014 or so or 2013 seemed like that he was big for that song Gangnam Style, and then he made fun of like America.
Yeah,
and then went poof.
Oh. You didn't.
Now though, if he did that now, he'd be like top of the charts. What happened to this one? Oh, there we go. The Alabama Black League. And this is my favorite one. He's got Conor McGregor at an arm bar.
Did you see when he was in the chair with like the Fresh Prince?
No.
Like, you know, they always show the beginning of the thing where he's like in that chair that spins around. We have, like, the exhibit industry has him sitting in the middle of an empty convention hall, waiting for conventions to return.
I mean, so many people sent me. I had a guy that sent me, like, took a Google Street picture of my house, you know, and put him in my driveway. Sure.
Oh, God. It's so classic.
And of all people, too, that crusty old,
I know,
man, get off my lawn kind of guy.
It's so funny. I mean, it's absolutely that meme has really unified the country. If you talk about unity, that is the one thing
we can all agree that
literally has brought together. It doesn't. You can be this far to the left and that far to the right, and it's funny all over the place.
I'll bet though, and I didn't look, but I'll bet that there are people that are offended by it. Right? They're like saying, "Oh, how can you manipulate that man like that?"
I don't know, man. If that's you, then you're going to be in a meme somewhere.
Well, think of people getting offended by this stupidest shit.
That is
right?
the funniest thing I have ever seen.
Let's go back.
The way
he's got Conor McGregor tapping out.
Oh man!
There's thousands of them out there.
It makes you wish you really had you knew how to use Photoshop. Like I don't know how to use Photoshop, but God, I could.
My
find
son
100.
Nevin does. You remember when he had him insert me that
that takes you with the Langons?
the magazine cover of Langons.
Oh God! This show's been fun.
Yeah.
Seeing that we didn't really have anything until 4:00.
Yeah. This was organic.
It worked out. But I do think we got to get out on the road. We got to start hitting some of these people and just call them out.
Take them out.
Listen, we just have a few questions for you for our audience that doesn't even exist. Because I think you're the only one that actually watches the show.
It's just so I have to upload it.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? That's not true. We have hundreds of
viewers.
viewers.
Challenge. It's an indirect challenge to people.
Subliminal challenge?
Yes. They're like, no, I watch the show.
Well, I mean, do you have anything else? I mean, we're just kind of...
No, that's
right
it.
in.
That's it. I think there's a lot of good stuff there.
I think that's a show.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, though. We're going to have to get your book of rules out.
Yeah.
But I need to preview the book of rules so we can, put the rules up. We just can't wing it.
We can't sit here and just talk about it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So stay tuned for that. We're going to have that one in a forthcoming episode of Jake's Book of Life Rules. So, see you next time on Now, for fuck's sake.
And you're welcome. It's a short show.
I don't know about that. We'll see.